pure pickle.
Did you grow up with the NES, PlayStation, Star Wars, cartoons, and 80s TV? Do you like to think who would win in a fight between Batman and the Master Chief? Comics, games, movies, music, and TV, they're gonna tell you everything you need. Superheroes or not, they got your back. They're gonna save the world of geeks. Games, movies, music, and TV, they're gonna tell you everything you need. Superheroes or not, they got your back. They're gonna save the world of This Week in Geek. This Week in Geek.
Well, hello and welcome to our final, I think, gift guide program coverage for the year of 2025 at This Week in Geek. That's right, Alex, the producer here. We've split up our gift guides coverage over the last few years as it grew, also as postage delays and different things had happened. We realized that sometimes stuff would come in too late for us to go to air with it for the regular show, but still with enough time for people to do their last minute shopping. Hence the last shopping idea, whatever you want to call it. I guess sometimes we've called it our last minute gift ideas. Sometimes we've called it our last 12 days of Christmas, depending on when it's come out. But as it stands, this is basically our last show before we do any holiday specials that are pre-recorded for the end of the year. Birdman should have a bunch of stuff in this. Might have stuff from some of the other Twig partners, but not entirely sure. I myself am not doing any full reviews in here. I'm going to sort of go in this intro section and do first impressions of some things that we've received that it's too late to go to air because we'll be off, as well as highlighting some stuff that we might have talked about in the last few weeks that we just wanted to give an extra push to because we thought it was really cool, and you'd still have time to either go buy physically in person, or in many cases when it comes to like games and that, there's digital versions that you can either buy as a gift for somebody, or maybe get a gift card, purchase it, send it as a gift, whatever you want to do that way. So I may as well talk about a few of the things that I know we have in the past talked about that I want to just mention here, because from some of our friends and partners that sent stuff. And first and foremost, I know I talked, was it a few weeks back, maybe for our Black Friday discussions, we talked about the Hitster game, and we've talked about that in the past. I think it was a year or two ago we talked about it originally, and then there's the Guilty Pleasures Hitster game, which is the new one that we just got to try for the first time. But with Hitster, just a brief summary, it's a music card game. You listen to over 100 years of music, you take turns arranging the cards in chronological order of your music timeline, and it's just basically a party game you can sit with your friends and play over the course of, I guess like a half hour, maybe an hour long, depending on how many people are playing. It says 2 to 20 players, but it's basically variable however you want to do it. So you're having a dinner party, waiting for something in the oven, or waiting for something to like, I don't know, show up for delivery if you're lazy like me. This is something you can pick up and play with friends. And obviously there was the Guilty Pleasures new set, which was it was actually pretty fun. We were trying it out. I'm actually probably going to be taking this to play with family, because we're actually going to be doing our Christmas with my immediate family on the 23rd for a brunch, because everybody else in the family, they're all traveling, doing different things on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, that sort of stuff. So it was just easier for us to gather on the 23rd, do a brunch, do like a stocking stuffer exchange, and then if there's any other gifts for anybody, we're going to open them up on our own on Christmas. And this might be something that we do while we hang out. We're still not sure for the brunch if it's going to be finger food or if it's going to be like ordering in Chinese or something. We want to make it just a very simple, easy breezy time, and that's probably one of the factors is to, maybe we'll play some games. So maybe Hitster, Guilty Pleasures. Talked about it previously. I'll put a link in the description if you're looking for it. It's got an MSRP of about $30 Canadian, and then you can sort of check out where you can pick it up in stores. And I'm trying to think if there's a couple other things here. Oh yes, Playmobil had sent over something that was a little too late for us to talk about on the main show, but they sent over their Pirate's large pirate ship, which is really neat. And I know it's going to make kids in our family happy. It was chosen by I think it was Toy Insider here for their gift guide last year, and it's really neat. Basically, it's got movable sails, fully functional anchor cannon, a ton of little accessories with it, and it's a pretty decently large set, but it's also fairly lightweight, so it's easy to move around, and you can easily put it away somewhere. It's one of those things where I know with families you might want to get like a big Ziploc bag to hold some of the smaller pieces or keep it all together. Maybe keep the box too so that you have a place to store it, but it's not like overly cumbersome or anything. You can sort of put it in the closet when you want to put it away if you want to. But yeah, it's really neat. It's got an MSRP of about $140. So if you're looking for a bigger set to give some kids, it's really cool. I thought it was really neat. It reminded me a lot of the toy stuff that, when I was little that we used to get when they'd have these big sets like this. But it's available at Playmobil.ca, as well as independent toy retailers, Walmart, Toys R Us if you're in Canada, and Amazon.ca. Really neat stuff. Want to do another shout out. Fujifilm Instax. We've talked about their stuff on a few different shows. That is, if you're looking for a quote-unquote more adult gift to give somebody, the Instax cameras are awesome. We've talked about like the Mini 41 as well as their hybrid Insta camera, the LivePlay Plus. Plus, previously we had talked about stuff from them like the Mario coin themed, or Mario, I guess, accessory themed printer that they have. All stuff sort of pairs with that too, and if you're looking to timing wise when you hear this, it might be a little too late for it, but there might still be time if you're like local in Ontario to order from the Fujifilm Print Life website and have some custom stuff printed and mailed to you. Might just make it for Christmas. You'll have to check on their delivery times on their website, but that's something too. Everybody loves a personalized custom thing. And we also talked about the My First Drawings set last time, but I wanted to make mention just one final thing from them is that Ready Set Spaghetti that we talked about for the Black Friday deals. That's something. Check out your local store that might carry like board games, that sort of stuff. Keep an eye out for that. It might be a little too late for it, but for buying online, but for digital, or for picking it up in person, you might be able to do that. So just some cool stuff there. Links in the description where available. And moving on, there's a few other things I want to mention before we get to some of the reviews and mentions that Birdman has. I have been playing some games and watching some movies and stuff over the last little bit, and I've mostly caught up on things. But I did want to mention that some stuff I've been playing and give some first impressions of them right now. I have been playing Octopath Traveler 0 from Square Enix. They provided a review copy for me to check out, and it's been pretty fun. I've been playing it on the Nintendo Switch too. It is... I know it's sort of like an adaptation. They took some of the assets of the mobile game, which I tried briefly but couldn't get into because I just have a hard time playing any serious games on a mobile platform. And it is fun. It is immersive. It's different than what you'd expect. You've heard people give it reviews. I'll just say right now, I'm enjoying it so far. The graphics are good. The controls are good. It's a completely built, ground up game using the assets of the previous, and it does tie into the first game. I can say that. Don't want to spoil anything. Just if you're looking for something, again, it's still time to pick it up. If you want to pick it up, like physical or digital, it's going to be a good bet for the RPG fan in your household. Might be doing a full review and maybe more coverage in the new year, but as we're pretty much off, it's going to be in rotation during our holidays for me to play for sure. Just wanted to make mention that I'm having a great time with it so far. We also have received from our friends the Telenet Shooters. This is a collection, the Telenet Shooters collection. our friends sent a review copy for PC. It's interesting in that you don't, like, when you activate it, you get a launcher, and then you can buy the games individually to put with it, and sometimes there can be a bundle price to make it cheaper, but it comes with Granada, Avenger, Gyra's, I got to get my pronunciation right, and Psychic Storm. And my particular one, when I activated it, it had the deluxe versions that came with the soundtracks for each, which is pretty neat. You unlock them, and then they can launch from within a launcher within the game. So I've seen some companies do that before, but if you're confused as to what, why when you get it you have to get the games individually and put them in, that's just how it's designed, so you can basically purchase them in any order. This is pretty sweet. It's the publisher is Edia. You might have seen their name pop up on some other stuff fairly recently, and I'll say this, they all work pretty well. Pretty much any PC you pop it in. They're classic shooters of the 16-bit era. Controls pretty tight. Works fine with my gamepads and pretty much anything. It does require some mouse to get in and navigate around. There might be some patches later. It's just, I think, the nature of the design of how they're activated. But the sound and video is emulated quite well. Fun stuff. You can go into the settings of them, change some of the difficulties, turn on a little bit of accessibility options, but it's mostly like you have a proper, decent launcher with all these individual games. Worth checking out for sure. As well as that stuff, I have also been checking out Pokemon Legends ZA or ZA, depending on where you're from. I think it's probably ZA, but I'll say ZA. Or is it because of the Americans? I'm not sure. Regardless, we reviewed the main game just a little while ago on the show, and I was given the opportunity to check out the Mega Dimensions DLC for that. And it's actually one of the more substantial expansions I've seen for a Pokemon title. It's about, I'm probably a little more than halfway through as of the time of this discussion here, but it's somewhere in the realm of, I would guess, 6+ hours, maybe minimum if you're just mainlining it. But there is some roguelite aspects to it, which is not going to be for everybody, but there is tons of new returning Pokemon, high level stuff that you can do at the end game. There's a lot more challenge here, I would say, than in the main game. So this is going to be sort of like where you spend a lot of time. If you've completed the game already and you're just kind of bored, you want to have something that will really challenge yourself, that's going to be here too. There is a lot of grinding and repetitive parts to it, so that might turn some people off. I just have to preface that. There can be some frustrations with navigation, but you will get used to it. I'll just say that. It is a interesting way that they went with it. Visually, it's pretty much what you'd expect from the franchise. It does add a fair amount of content, so if you're looking to sort of enhance what you've been doing and what you've played with it, and you're looking to maybe get somebody a good Christmas present, you can get the game, purchase a gift card or something and get the expansion for it, the DLC, and you'd have a pretty solid thing to play all throughout the holidays. So I'm recommending it. Just know that it is a little harder, and the gameplay loop of it might not be for everybody, but when it clicks with you, I think it clicks quite well. So I am going to recommend it. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to mention very specifically for this. Yeah, you know what? As far as other stuff, we had some stuff coming even later than this, so we might even do another review show, but that will probably be after Christmas. But as for any other recommendations that I have for the holiday gift guide, yes, we did receive some other games for I guess consideration that came in a little late. A couple games from Capcom came in right before the Game Awards, so not a lot of time to play directly, but we did end up playing the Capcom Fighting Game Collection 2. That was one of the games that was nominated at the Game Awards. I received a code for it for the Nintendo Switch, and it's pretty fun. I see why Birdman likes it. So I'm going to recommend, if you're looking for a fighting game or fighting game collection to play during the holidays, maybe pick it up. There is physical versions, but also digital. If you're looking for a gift card, you want to purchase a digital copy and send it to somebody. Not a bad choice. It could be pretty fun. Something to play over the holidays when you're on break. Same with Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny. The first game was remastered, was it a year or two ago, something like that? And now we've got the second one, and this is also sort of in prep of the new game coming out, I believe this year, or this upcoming year. We'll double check on that. But just a couple games to consider. I thought they were pretty fun. Onimusha 2 takes a little bit of getting used to, because you got to go back sort of in the mindset of the game that was 20 some odd years old, but I think it holds up pretty well, especially with playing on Switch. I'm playing these are both Switch 1 games. I was playing in backwards compat mode on the Switch 2, and they're pretty fun. So I had a great time with it, and that's pretty much it for me. I'll put links in the description for the show if you want to check these out from me. I'm not exactly sure what Birdman or what other stuff we have to throw in, but we'll be throwing off to him because there's probably some recommendations there. I'll come back at the end and just sort of do a little bit of a roundup and say what's coming, because there are probably some things that, as of this recording, are still not here. And as it stands, that means we won't have any reviews for that before Christmas, but there might be a few breakout shows that we do to release during the holiday season, and I'll mention those then. So I'm going to throw it over to Birdman, and we'll see what recommendations he has for this final last-minute gift ideas gift guide.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons. The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, robots in disguise.
Hey guys, this is Mike the Birdman here, and this is an addition to our holiday gift guide. This is my Hasbro Toy Roundup. As you guys know, I am a ridiculously huge Transformers fan, both cases figuratively and literally, and I love my little transforming robots. And, well, I'm here to share with some of you my picks for the holiday season this year, and I think if you pick these up for the Transformers fan in your life, they will be swearing allegiance to Optimus Prime or perhaps Megatron. So whether you're Autobot, Decepticon, or maybe even a mercenary like Double Dealer, that's right, a little bit of deep lore cut right there. I'm here to talk to you about some of the really cool picks you can pick up this holiday season. Most of these can be picked up from HasbroPulse.com, but also don't forget retailers like Walmart, Target, Amazon, and wherever fine toys are sold. So the first one I'm going to be talking about is actually probably one of my favorite molds, and this one is a recent re-release I'm really glad to see people get a second crack at. This is the Transformers Generation War for Cybertron Earthrise Run-Amok. This is the first of the Battle Chargers. This is the white car, and honestly, I just love the transformation on this guy. Great sculpting, comes with a cool little pistol. He does have a partner runabout, but he is the Target exclusive. He hasn't been re-released yet. I'm really hoping Hasbro does us a solid in the future and re-releases him, because he was released during the pandemic and was hard to find. But aside from that, no, seriously, Run-Amok, it's a fantastic figure. It's super intuitive to transform, wonderful articulation, great look on the vehicle mode, and yeah, ultimately, it's probably one of my favorite Decepticon soldiers in the last couple of years. Again, he doesn't have to be fancy to be great, and again, just the fact I love gimmicky Transformers, and seeing things like the Headmasters and the Battle Chargers and Target Masters get brought up into modern forms. Honestly, Run-Amok is one of my favorites from this era, and like I said, you should definitely be checking out the Transformers War for Cybertron Earthrise Run-Amok. Definitely worth an addition to your Decepticon ranks. Moving on, we're going to check out something that's going to be coming out rather soon. I have heard this is available from other retailers online, but you can get this from HasbroPulse.com. This is the Transformers The Movie 1986 Deluxe Wind Charger. Windcharger unfortunately dies during the 1986 movie, but he transforms into the little Pontiac Trans Am. And what makes Windcharger particularly cool is he's literally the master of magnetism for Transformers. He has an amazing array of abilities, and there's even a little bit of a blast effect that is compatible with him, which can be used in vehicle mode and in robot mode, displaying his magnetic powers. Also comes with a really neat little pistol, but really sets him apart, it's the sculpting. He looks fantastic in vehicle mode and in robot mode. Particularly pleased with like the sculpting on his face. And if you're into the mini bots, I think Hasbro has done a really fantastic job with stuff like Sea Spray and with Gears and Brawn and Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper. Any of the smaller bots that have come out in the last couple of years, even the Walmart exclusive lines with the kind of G1 accurate deco for the heads with the gears and brawn, stuff like that. This is a fantastic companion piece to that, especially when you put them in vehicle mode. I almost wish I had a second 86 Ultra Magnus just to put all the mini bots on his car carrier mode. I think Windcharger is really nice for the deluxe class of figure, and ultimately if you're collecting the 1986 Studio Series line, I think you're in for something really kind of special. I am hoping, because I'm that morbid guy, that we do get a 2-pack of this as the Dead collection, because Windcharger does appear in the 1986 movie alongside his compatriot Wheeljack. Both were picked up by RC with Springer just before they loaded the launcher to fight Devastator in the Battle of Autobot City. But seriously, Windcharger looks fantastic. He's alive and kicking, and to definitely be added to your collection this Christmas. The next one I'm going to be talking about, this one I did not expect to get a re-release, but this is the Transformers Generations War for Cybertron Earthrise Voyager class. This is going to be, well, how would I even begin to describe this one? This is the dream come true that I was really lucky I didn't have to go on the secondary market and pick this guy up. This is Thrust. That's right. This is the other Conehead. This is the VTOL jet, the maroon VTOL that went for ridiculously high prices on the secondary market, as he was a Target exclusive or Toys R Us exclusive here in Canada, and just due to his release schedule was really hard to find. From all the people that I've had a chance to watch their videos on, he was available for like a week and then boop, gone. But fortunately, he has been re-released to the wide world now, and seriously, Thrust. For an Earthrise Seeker mold, you know what you're kind of getting with this, and I don't suspect we're going to get an updated Conehead Seeker for quite some time, as we are getting 86 Thundercracker early next year, which I should get my review copy sometime in the new year. But no, seriously, just having Thrust on my shelf, he looks really good in robot mode. Like, he just looks dynamic despite being an Earthrise Seeker, but it's the color that really sets him apart, and his vehicle mode with those two VTOL intakes on his side just looks, it's outstanding. And honestly, just the fact that we can finally have a commercially accessible Thrust, I think that's awesome. Trust me, if you give this to someone who has that gap where they need their companion to ramjet in Dirge, I don't think they're going to complain when you add this to your collection. The next one is going to be something that I didn't quite know what to expect, because I'm a big fan of these Amazon 2-packs, but you can get this from Hasbro Pulse right now. I have seen this in retail stores, I want to say, as well. And this is the Transformers Age of the Primes Wreck and Doom collection. This is Autobot Sandstorm and Decepticon Slugslinger. Now, these are redecos of existing figures closer to their G1 animation model. And I want to say Sandstorm may have a slightly different face, if I recall. I have the original Sandstorm, but he's on my shelf transformed into his, I think it's like a Chinook helicopter, which looks friggin' amazing, by the way. But no, he is a triple changer that turns into a helicopter and kind of a dune buggy. Fantastic looking alt mode and robot mode. And seriously, probably one of the best engineered triple changers we've had so far for the collection, and I really don't think you could go wrong with it. It's just such an outstanding figure. Slugslinger is a re-release of a previous figure that came out in the, I want to say, Power of the Primes era, and there were two different color variations. There was the North American release and the Takara release, whereas the version we're getting in this collection has one that looks very close to his G1 Headmaster's version. So I think it looks fantastic. Amazing looking robot mode. Comes with his Target Master buddy, kind of. Caliburst. It's not a true Target Master, but the Target Master is the head for this guy. But still, I think it looks fantastic. I actually gave him the weapon from my next and final pick today. This is a 2-pack. This is from the Transformers Studio Series More Than Meets the Eye collection. This is based upon Transformers Devastation, and you're getting some troop builders for your collection. You are getting the Decepticon Ground Soldier, which is based upon the earlier mold that I talked about with Earthrise Runabout or Run Amok, as they're virtually the same mold. And we're also getting the Elite Seeker, which is a Dirge, or maybe it's Ramjet, I'm not sure. Either way, one of the cone heads in this black and gunmetal gray, and he looks sick. There's even cell shading on the cockpit of this jet, and it looks really sharp. You're getting brand new weapons here with both figures. You're getting swords that look really great. I actually gave the sword to my Slugslinger from my Decepticon Ground Soldier because he looks so good in vehicle mode. And I don't think the blue guys came with guns. It's been a really long time since I've played Devastation. But no, seriously, this cell-shaded line of Transformers figures I'm a big fan of. I've got the Optimus, I've got the Side Swipe with the Red Alert head, but no, seriously, I think this 2-pack, it's fantastic. You're getting a deluxe and you're getting a Voyager. It is such a value for what you're getting. Seriously, if you gave any of these toys to someone for Christmas this year, I don't think they're going to complain. So those are going to be my picks from Hasbro. So if you are ready to transform and roll out, you are going to have an amazing holiday season.
Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Transformers from Hasbro.
Hi, I'm Sky. Welcome back, welcome in, welcome to a Starfinder story review. Today, we're talking about eras, specifically the era of the Eclipse written by Tim Pratt. Sorry, Swifties. This is a fun book that follows Chick Chick and Day as they begin their next adventure as new members of the Starfinder Society. Of course, they quickly find out how unglamorous it is when you're starting out as new members and how there's more to it than flying around in a spaceship and going on adventures. In this case, Chick Chick and Day are given what they think is about to be a particularly boring assignment. Reading 300 pages, so the higher-up muckety-muck only has to read 3. Naturally, this task gets met with the usual groaning and fight any bright-eyed and bushy-tailed new adventurer would produce upon finding out what grunt work actually is. The pair begin to read pages that have been preserved and written on various papers. Some are quite odd to be in such a collection, only to find out they got beyond lucky. And the boring set of papers, first thought to be a collection equal in importance to grocery lists and random ephemera, is actually a first-hand account of events that followed the big event. It answered questions about what happened after the Gap. For those of you new to the Starfinder universe, the Gap is the big event that has more unanswered questions than any other work I know of. How much time was lost? Was there anything anyone could remember? What happened to an entire planet, and where did the space station come from? Yeah, those are probably the big ones, and of course, as you drill down to the details, there are countless more. As the pair read the account, they realize they can follow it themselves and see how some of the events played out firsthand. A dream of so many who get to study and appreciate history. Naturally, they let their curiosity get the better of them, and we get to go along for the ride. While I wouldn't class this book as something I just couldn't put down, it's definitely a fun story I enjoyed reading, with important lore on the Starfinder universe. Namely, the beginnings of the Order of the Eclipse, and what drove their creation in the wake of the Gap, explaining just why those particular Hell Knights are so hell-bent on the censorship and control of information. Overall, if you're a Starfinder fan, this book is on my recommend to read list. Enjoy your adventures, and I'll see you in the black. Hi! I'm Sky. Welcome back, welcome in, welcome to a Paizo review. Today, I want you to show me your war face and give me your best battle cry. For those of you who want to watch the story of Galarian unfold on your own, this is your spoiler alert. The world of Galarian is never short of adventure, and now it's getting more intense as the heat turns up. Following the death of Gorum, the god of war, one would think you'd find peace, calm, all that nice stuff. Of course, there's always unexpected consequences, and in this case, that was the god's reign, which has sparked skirmishes, outright fighting, and wars. In all the pandemonium, the world has now seen the return of the Jotunborn. Step aside, giants. The Jotunborn stand at 12 feet tall and weigh in at 1,500 pounds. For anyone that may want a comparison, that's about the same height as a standard basketball hoop and about the same weight as a milk cow. Naturally, the Jotunborn come in with their own backstory, since the same questions will always come up. For those of you that share my curiosity of, why do we get this cool thing now? There's an answer. Before the Jotunborn came the Titans. Need I say more about how that went? Unlike the Titans, the gods of Galarian had learned lessons in the creation of the Jotunborn, who were given the faintest spark of creation and slighter forms while still being able to help shape the rest of Galarian. The Jotunborn dedicated themselves to their duties, shaping Galarian by growing mountains, carving out rivers, and bringing the vision of the gods to life. Now, here's where we get to the reasoning. With no more work to do in creation, the Jotunborn received their reward, a place to call their own in the space between. In this case, that was the space between the mortal universe and the ethereal plane, where the Jotunborn remained, watching over Galarian from afar, unless there was a reason for them to return during times of great need. Since the god's reign, the Jotunborn have reappeared in Galarian, and getting home, well, that's become hard, which has left the Jotunborn to adapt to life among the people in current-day Galarian. For us, that also means new archetypes. As the fighting heats up, there are new roles to fill, like the War Mage. Maybe you learned your arcane craft at a war college instead of your regular magic school, where you focus less on theory and more on applied magics and how best to use your spells on the battlefield. We also have the Crossbow Infiltrator, highly trained fighters that favor stealthy, sneaky, tricksy tactics and quiet weapons. Assassination? Spy? Espionage? What might you want to try? There are 11 new archetypes to explore in this book, along with a new bloodline, 2 new classes, and so much more. I'll be honest, I have no idea what would be the most interesting for you. But I have to admit, I'm still hung up on the battle loot. No longer do you have to choose between being able to play for inspiration or effectively pummeling your enemies. So, have fun while you cry havoc and unleash your Pathfinder characters into war.
Hey guys, this is Mike the Birdman here. I'm here to talk to you about kind of a Shark Ninja roundup. We're going to do a couple of rapid fire reviews as they sent over a lot of stuff, and we couldn't squeeze everything into the holiday gift guide. So if you're looking for some additional gifts this holiday season, then you should definitely be checking out the following products that I'm going to be talking about right here, right now. Let's rock and roll. We're going to be talking about the Ninja Programmable XL14 coffee cup maker. We actually gave this to my sister, who is a nurse practitioner, and believe me, if anybody needs a cup of coffee first thing in the morning, it's her. She loved how programmable it is, having coffee ready whenever you want it. It stays piping hot for several hours, which again, having that in her office, definitely something nice that she could definitely look kind of forward to. Takes up a remarkably little bit of counter space, again, because we're all have all sorts of gadgets and stuff on our countertops right now, and space is always at a premium, and obviously having up to 14 cups of coffee is enough to serve the entire family or me for an afternoon if I happen to be on extremely tight deadline. So that's something you can definitely kind of check out. Also, we also have the Shark Ninja Belgian waffle maker, because believe me, in the morning, My wife is making waffles. And it's the best thing to wake up to on Christmas morning, the ability to make your own Belgian waffles in your own kitchen. It's pretty cool as it has a vertical design which ensures that the batter makes it to each crispy corner of the non-stick surface. So you're not having to, kind of worry about waffle sucking. What more can I say? My entire family is excited to have waffles any day, and that means if I want to have chicken and waffles, it's going to be extra delicious. Let's just say I'm going to be encouraging my wife to be making that at some point in the new year. The next thing, I actually had a hands-on demo with this. My wife is going to be talking about the Shark Speed Style Pro Flex hair dryer. So my wife has really, really long and thick hair. Her hair was dry in 3 minutes. So now she has no excuse to go out with her hair wet and catching cold. And if she ever wants to torture me, she can make sure that I don't go outside with wet hair either. Now, this is something that I didn't expect. So she was drying her hair with the hair dryer. And she's like, hey, Mike, check this out. And she gripped the body of this thing. And I was thinking, oh my God, you're going to burn your hands. What the hell are you doing? It was cold to the touch. Couldn't believe how well insulated this thing was. I was like utterly in amazement and shock for that. Plus there's like tons of different attachments for this thing. She was using the brush and the smoothing attachment and was left with straight and silky smooth hair, and that means I don't have to brush her hair. So best part about it is, like I said, this thing was so cool to the touch. It's super small, and when you open up the package, it says, hey, here's what everything does. Here is how to use it. That's nice. I wish more companies would kind of do that in their packaging. Sort of like, here is the idiot-proof guide to using this thing. What can I say? Party on. You should definitely be checking out the Shark Speed Style Pro Flex hair dryer, and I think it is pretty neat. And then finally, we're going to be talking about the Ninja Detect Duo Power and Personal Blender with single-serve cups. We've loved our Ninja blender for absolutely years, but my wife is super impressed with the upgraded version. This thing comes with a 73-ounce pitcher to make large batches of your famous smoothies or instantly mix up waffle batter for our new Ninja Belgian waffle maker. Also includes a single-serve cup with a sprout lid for your drinks on the go. Powerful, versatile, made from tough and durable for ice crushing to the smoothest of sauces. And what can I say? Again, it's a really nice kick-ass blender. I have never had disappointment when it comes to anything we've got from Shark Ninja this entire year. So this has been a rapid fire review of some of the stuff. And if you want to check out more detailed reviews on some of the other things we've gotten this year, go check out the main TWIG holiday gift guide or what we did earlier this year for back to school.
Those magnificent bastards! Color me kooky, but something very odd is going on around here.
You're not allowed to talk anymore.
Alrighty, and that is going to do it for the gift guide or last minute's gift guide, whatever we're calling it this year. That's it. We're pretty much done for the year. I know that we've got Earth vs. Soup episodes coming out, so some classic sci-fi movie goodness from Aaron and Darlene every Thursday, including Christmas Day. We were thinking of what to put there. It's coming out regardless. We've also got this coming week, in place of the regular show, since we're on a hiatus till the end of January, we have a Future Imperfect episode on Judge Dredd and the Dredd 2012, I guess, new adaptation. It wasn't a remake. It was more of a reinterpretation movie. So we recorded that a little while ago in anticipation of putting it out during the break. That should be, a good, fun listen. If I remember correctly, when we recorded it, we had a good time talking about those movies. But the Earth vs. Soup this coming week is Mesa of the Lost Women from 1953. And then the one that comes out on Christmas is Conquest of Space from 1955. And we also have one coming out on New Year's Day, actually. Yeah. So that is Man in the Moon from 1960. We also will have, believe Birdman has a special on the Lord of the Rings that he's working on with the boys, with the rest of the crew over there for the Loose Cannon. I think it's probably going to be a Loose Cannon podcast. Might have some more Random Access Memories episodes come out as well. We've got some interesting stuff there. The Prototype, I believe, is on hiatus with us until the new year, unless something major happens news in the gaming world-wise. Beyond that, Birdman and I are trying to work out over the next few days before Christmas happens, where we're going to maybe record some sort of special for Christmas, either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day as well. So, the whole Christmas holidays, Boxing Day, all that sort of stuff, there's going to be 3 or 4 episodes that you can sink your teeth into if you're, want something on in the background or just want to, virtually, I guess, sort of hang out with us. We're also doing some experimental stuff with video, like I'm doing some long play records of some of our favorite games, starting with Mass Effect is up, I think, now. Might go through and do the whole trilogy over the course of the holidays, but we'll see how that works and see if we can get everything technically working the way we want. Not necessarily doing live streams, but maybe just recording our gameplay, putting it up, minimal commentary. Just, again, cool background stuff you can listen to and maybe watch if you want to go at decent quality is the hope. And then we'll see what we do structurally wise when it comes to live streams or interactive video and stuff like that in the new year. It's sort of off and on, back burner hobby project of ours here. Beyond that is pretty much it for the holidays. We're good to go. We hope everybody is, warm, safe, happy if you can be. Birdman always mentions, he wants you to reach out to us if you're not feeling so great. Reach out to us on the socials. We'll chat with you. But find a game, find something you want to do and play and hang out and do whatever. We might play some games online over the holidays. If we do, we might record it and send it. We're not entirely sure yet. We're sort of leaving it up to the wind, but hopefully in this last minute gift guide, as well as the one that we did for the main holiday gift guide, our Black Friday deals thing that we talked about previously, go check them out. They're in the recent episodes that we've released. Same with the tabletop RPG special that we did with tabletop RPGs and board games. There's so much cool stuff out there this year. We know that money is tight for many, many, many people, and you're looking for good deals and looking for stuff that you can do that, stretches the money, but also gives you the, best return, entertainment wise and gift wise. That's why we do this stuff, because we're people on budgets ourselves. We do not make a ton of money. Birdman and I are both on disability. So we try to make things stretch as best we can, and that's why we do this. We try to find the best deals for people. So hopefully you found something here that interests you. We'll be back in the new year, maybe beforehand if anything major happens, but this is pretty much it for our live programming for the year. Happy holidays, everybody. Be excellent to each other, and we'll see you in the new year right here on ThisWeekInGeek.net.
At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Thanks for listening to this episode of This Week in Geek. Hungry for more? Check out our website at ThisWeekInGeek.net. You can subscribe to the podcast, browse our Twitter and Instagram, and leave your thoughts on today's topics. If you'd like to give us some feedback, send us an email at feedback@thisweekingeek.net. Tune in next time, and remember, lower your shields and surrender your listenership.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.